Yep. So what we left yesterday was your okay. You know, from the bullet points which you showed yesterday. You have any questions?
Um, no, I've already sent the recruiter. Uh, I've I've wrote some things, the bullet point, and I replied the recruiter. Oh, I just have to go. I mean, from the little from the what you showed to on the Splunk, and I mean, kind of gives me idea different. Give me idea on different things on each of them too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess I mean with that, I mean I guess I should be able to talk more, even if I have an interview on that though.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, you know, the thing is probably the thing is, you know, put on your investigative mindset. That's what I would ask, right? You know, think like, you know, if you really want to think about, forget about the job interview and everything else, right? If you have a attack, how do you want to identify something, like what's really happening, right? What is that first thing you will see? Okay, where the attack is coming from, like my data source. Now I've identified that this attack is coming from, say, you know, the alert is from firewall or from a database or from an antivirus solution or from, you know, proxy solution or whatever that is, or my email, like a phishing email, right? So you get that. What do you do next? You know, what is the type of questions will you ask next? So, you know, you'll ask, like, you know, do you know what are you looking for? Do you understand the attack first? Right? If I'm saying that, you know, good luck, can you go and handle a phishing email? First of all, you need to understand what is phishing, right? So if you know phishing, how do you analyze a phishing email is other thing, right? Um, so that's some of the areas will the interviewer will be looking at, like identifying the concept, understanding of a concept. If you're a fresher and if you're like this is your first job, probably he'll look at your basics, right? So he might look at your broader understanding of, say, suppose network, right? Do you know TCP IP handshake? Do you know HTTP? Do you know the port numbers? Do you know the protocols? Do you know how one of the popular protocols really work, like how DNS work? What is DHCP's role? TCP handshake, right? You know, what is TCP? What is UDP? Where does UDP come? Where does TCP come? Right, from a network point of view. Then he'll come back and ask you, like, you know, do you know phishing? Do you know what is okay, how do you look at a phishing email? How do you investigate a phishing email? Have you ever seen a phishing email? What is phishing and what is the difference between your spam or your adware type of advertisement emails? What's the difference, right? What's a spearfish compared to a phishing email, right? What is more dangerous, like a phishing email or a spearfish, right? So if I give you a email sample, can you go and, you know, understand or review it and help me understand, right? So that's one, you know, that's how they'll ask you.
Okay.
That's how they'll try to ask you. Okay, now you understand your phishing email. So if you look at your JD as well, they are saying your antivirus, endpoint, IDS, IPS, your firewall. So they have covered your network, they have covered your intrusion prevention, which is your perimeter, your local, your antivirus, and endpoint. Right? So that's how they will look at it.
All right. That makes sense.
So if you, again, you know, probably, you know, you might be aware of everything else, but putting them in perspective is also right way of doing it, right? You know, understanding and, you know, what and how you'll do it is also extremely important. So that's where you need to do a lot of reading, right? So there is this just a second, let me mm, 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 mm. showing you this here. So there is a site called tutorialpoints.com. Very good site where you can, in a easy terms, easy terminologies, you can read a lot of stuff. I just pinged you a network security. So I mean that link was open, but the tutorialpoint.com is one place where you can go and look for a lot of uh, articles, a lot of how do I say that? Yeah. How do I put it? Like understanding about different topics,
Oh, okay.
right? So okay, let me. I was looking for a book which I recently downloaded. I don't know where did it go. I think I closed it, or I think it was open in other computer. I think, yeah. So there are I would suggest you read. There are multiple books. First one would be your uh, google.com. Yep. So this is one book. It's called the Inside Network Perimeter Security. It's an old book, but it's a very good book. You should read it.
Oh, all right.
Right. Then there is a book called
Network parameter.
there is. I'm just going to give you the other book. There is, yeah. There is this book. This is one book which is Windows Security Monitoring, which would be very useful for you.
Windows.
Yep. And where is that? Okay, let me see. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, there is something called as practical Windows forensics. I have this book. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share it with Ravi and probably email it to Ravi, and Ravi will share it with you.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna share it with Ravi, and then he'll definitely share it with you. So I've just marked it. So that's something which you'll have to read. Then the other book is, where is that? Is your Windows Net Windows. Yeah. One second. I think I knew and I shared it with someone. Let me find out. This guy. How can I forget that book? Oh my god. Okay. Give me a second. Let me find that book for you. That should be very good.
All right.
Windows. Got it. I got it. 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 Yep. That's another book. There you go. So it's called the Mastering Windows Network Forensic and Investigation, right? So this book
Yeah.
is extremely detailed. It talks about a lot of things which is really necessary for you, right? So even when you're starting your career, the first thing you will need to learn very well is your networking, then your OS, which is nothing but Windows, and your Unix environments. Then you need to understand your web application security. Damn spelling. Network, Windows, web application, and then malware analysis, right? Um, and then something into the cloud. That's how you will need to learn, right? Right. So Ravi, if I can share my screen.
You can.
Okay. Yeah. So there is something else. Malware traffic analysis. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So there is a site which is called Malware Traffic Analysis. If ever, in the second thing when I say networking, or the first thing which I say networking, if ever you want to understand or practice on real malware, you can come to this site. This site will have the actual malware, also the artifacts of the malware, like the packet captures as well. Have you worked with Wireshark anytime?
Yes.
Yes. So if you are good at Wireshark, that's absolutely brilliant. If you think you need to work really hard and look at actual malware, this will help you. Looking at packet capture and finding out what really happened in the traffic. Right? So practical malware analysis, that's also one of the brilliant site where you can use to practice. I have used this to when I was when my previous organization, I used to give this to my team members. Right? You have exercises like this. So BugleSoft. So now you'll be given a situation. Okay, what happened here? Right? Um, Scenario, LAN segment. You have got this one, right? Your task, review the PCAP alert and then write the incident report of the infected host. How will you write it? Executive report, what happened on then, which date, what machine, infected with what are the details of it, what are the indicators of compromise. So you have to find out all these things. And also you'll have answers for this,
Okay.
right? You can go to this, download the PDF and look at the answer, like how did this guy write?
The 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 pickup can
Mm-hmm.
is it Is it okay to download? Is this not live malware, right?
It is live malware. That's what I'm saying. You need to create a virtual machine and dump everything in there, analyze it. Yeah, but sometimes if the moment you download the PCAP, your antivirus might pick it up. But since it's only just a packet capture, until unless you're extracting something out of the packet capture, nothing will happen.
Oh.
Right. So you can download the packet capture. That's not a problem at all. Given that you don't visit any of the links, what it's showing you. Right. So this is a sample report. These are all the things which the packet capture was able to find out. This is your analysis. Right. So you can go and understand whether you did the exercise or not, whether you are able to do these things or not. Right. So if you're able to do it, you're on track, at least from the analysis of it.
Okay.
Right? So, but this malware traffic analysis set is extremely good in terms of your this guy will have tutorials and entries like Wireshark tutorial, right? How do I examine a quackbot infection using Wireshark? Again, it'll have links and everything else to it. So very well written this thing, and this guy has maintained from 2013 to 2020. So almost 7 years worth of data you'll see. You see, alerts, attacks, alerts, or infections, or spam or phishing emails back from then. 2013, 2014, you can see a lot like what happened in 2014. So it's a good thing where you can go here on isolator machine, make sure that you figure out, configure your machine, and then do a lot of these things here. But this is a very good site. So yeah, so that's how people might like ask you a question. So this is one book which I was talking about, Windows forensic analysis. So some of the topics which if you see here, it says live response collection, volatile data, like lockdown sessions, netstat, your different commands which you run, clipboard, like examples, your memory analysis, your registry analysis. You have all these things here. Then your file analysis, when you have a different file, if you have a browsing history, how do you look at a document, how do you analyze a document. You can get a lot of these things. Executable file analysis, what do you look for different items in executable file or .exe file. How do you identify rootkits? Case studies are there. You can go through the case studies. So this book is really really good, which you should try reading it. That's what I have books here. Let me put this one there. Oh, sorry. So I'll share that. Yeah. Yeah. And the one thing which I want you to do, if you have time, is player dot fm. Oh. Okay. So yeah. So I have I listen to podcast. I used to listen to podcast a lot when I was actually going to office. Now it's like I can't just keep up with these things here. So but what you can do is you can come here. Where is a search option here? Yeah. Yeah. So I can go Darknet Diaries. So you can listen to these Darknet Diaries. This is a podcast. This sometimes is a 1 hour podcast or 58-minute podcast. This guy really talks about a hacker. Ghost Exodus is an hacker. Human hackers. Triton is a hacker. Freaky Clown is a hacker. Right. So PsyOp is a one other. The Athens Shadow Games is one. Warmer, Cam. These are all different attack scenarios where this guy explored and talks about it with different people, so you'll understand their mindset.
Right.
Right, a real attacker. The other thing you can do is SANS. Yeah, so you can do SANS Internet Storm Center. You can listen to that. So every day you will have one podcast by the dean of SANS, Johannes Ulrich, who is the dean of the cell, and he'll provide you all the details about it. So you can go and listen to that. Oh, my bad, sorry. Yeah, so you can listen to that. So you can go and this one, and there is if you can just type security, a lot of things will come. Defense Security Podcast, Cyber Sauna, right? Uh, Cyber Security Today, Weekly, Cyber 9 Security, SANS. There are a lot of things. You, based on how frequently the content is getting uploaded, please go and register.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it's good. Get up in the morning, just listen to 2 or 3 podcasts, you'll understand what's going on today.
Right.
Right. So, example, if I am saying that SANS podcast, right? So if I click on this one, right, it opens up. It talks about malware analysis quiz, exploiting a new vulnerability, iOS, OAuth vulnerabilities, they're limiting location data exposure. So you'll have the links where it's going to, right? And what he spoke about yesterday, and a reminder to patch the CV3452 active exploitation scene. This is for what exploitation? Your internet choke points, concentration of authority name servers, your DNS concentrations, your Android patches, possible iOS jailbreak affecting secure enclave. So you can go and understand what he's talking about. So it's you'll get live updates and your understanding of what happened to recently, LastPass or KeyPass, password security manager was exploited or what.
That's a good site.
Yep. So and you can register to multiple things. Let me look at what I have on my phone. I have got I've got Cyberwire Daily, Cyberwire. This guy. So this guy is also one good this thing. Dave Bittner from Cyberwire. He's also a very good host. He talks about a lot of things, and it sometimes is a lengthy session, like a 20-minute long sessions. Then you have what you have. Yeah. Then you have Black Hills. BLACK Hills. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. So this guy, right? Black Hill Security. So last 7 days, atomic purple team framework and life cycle. What you said, red teaming, right? So SOC has blue team, red team, and purple team, which does both offensive and defensive. So you can listen to a 1 hour podcast by these guys, right? What is webcast about ransomware? Just listen to these guys, what they say. Web app penetration, how to attack, JWT, Java, web something, I don't remember, JWT, yeah. And then how securely start deploying, or empirical threat intel, red teaming hacking tools, blue team perspective on red teaming hacking tools, how to hunt for jobs like a hacker, right? Probably something which you should be listening to. This is an example, right? What is Kerberos and attacks 101? Awesome topic. You know, use developer tools in JavaScript in web application pen test. How to build a home lab. Probably something for you.
Yeah,
Right?
I was asked about that on my last interview.
I'm sorry.
I was asked something like that about my last interview. I was asked how do I should explain my home lab.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So what did you answer for that?
Well, I mean, because then I was asking about my home network. I just kind of, I think I didn't do much that day on my home network. So I had to go back after the interview. I had to study about the home network, and then I was able to see the people said your home network, your home lab should be your testing environment, and that you should be able to explain if you have a router, um, what what configuration you done on the router, on your VM, what what tools you have on it that you use in testing it. That's why I found out later. But I didn't answer the question that good on my interview.
So, yep. So, you can listen to all these podcasts, whenever you have time, you're sitting and relaxing. So you can listen to that. So, yeah.
That's good. I'm already registered.
Awesome. Yep. So go to all these podcasts. You'll find more like, security or information security. Just see how many other things are there. Let me look what else I have. Um, I have got something called as naked security from Sophos, but it was 8 weeks ago. Something was published there. Then I have got security now. Let's look at it. Yep, this guy security now. Again, Steve Gibson is there. Uh, Very interesting. It's again 2 hour discussion, right? Twitter's. So if you click on it, you'll see what topics they're talking about. For Garmin hack. So recently Garmin was hacked, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll talk about boot hole, QNAP, SHA authentication, enabling Zoom meeting hacking, blocking Tor connections, dropping 0 days, Tor and Dr. Quiz, Garmin hack, Twitter hackers arrested, Firefox now. So how Twitter was hacked, you should read that. Any new vulnerabilities before going into any interviews, you can say that top vulnerabilities, top vulnerabilities. So, I'm sorry. What are the top 10 vulnerabilities? And top 10 vulnerabilities um, in 2020, something like that, right? So if you
Yeah.
know like what are the top 10 vulnerabilities, you'll quickly be able to go and say, oh, I know that what vulnerabilities you're talking about, or yeah, top vulnerabilities in say July, right? Yeah. So this is your vulnerabilities which will affect you in um, not open source security vulnerabilities in July. Nope, 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 nope. Yeah, so you can look at this bulletin, what type of vulnerabilities were there, what was exposed. Probably a long list, but you can look at the podcast will actually let you know what were the recent vulnerabilities. Like you had the recent F5 vulnerability, or in July 2020, right? Vulnerabilities digest. You can look at it, um, right? So you can know what you're looking at. Highlights
Hmm.
of July, cross-site scripting. Attackers continue to target old plugins. Massive attack on Joomla old companies. Clean up or vulnerability code, or probably you can pick and choose what you want to read, what you
Right.
want to explain. You don't need to go everything. You need to read everything, but you can pick and choose what is that you want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, look at Qualys itself. Okay, July 2020 patch, right? Windows DNS server RC, Hyper-V remote, deceleration RC, Adobe, you know. Yeah, that's it. 2020 July patch, 123 vulnerabilities, 18 critical, Hyper-V remote, DNS server workstation, Adobe. Yeah, you can go click and go start reading about it.
All right.
So that's something, you know, if I was interviewing you, probably ask you like, you know, oh, you know, what is your networking skills? You know, do you understand some concepts of it? Okay, how much you are hands on with your command prompt, your Windows command prompt? Do you know what is netstat? Right? Do you know what is ns lookup? And let's say suppose if I want to ask you, you know, look at my, what is the command to look at task, like task list? I can look at it. And what is else is there? Yeah, sch task. Yeah, system info. If I want to get system info, how will I get, how can I get system info? What is the command for that, right? And then netstat hyphen abon. Oh, I don't have permissions. Hyphen a. You know, how can I look at network connections from my machine, right? So how do I identify what is listening, what is established, what is close and wait? So I can say hyphen a b, yeah, requires o, right? I can get more details as well. I can get the process ID as well now. So what does this switches mean for you, right? When you say hyphen a hyphen o, so I can do this. I can do a help command and identify what is this. Then I can know tree command. You see, okay. Probably one example, a shortcut. So let's say suppose you go to a directory, dir. I can go to say downloads. Say I say cd downloads and I say tree. Oh, there is nothing. Come on. I can go to, okay, let's do that. Okay, cd downloads. Okay, then I can say tree. You see how Windows showed me the data? It
Yeah.
gave me in a tree format. So some of the commands you should be aware of it. Like, you know, for your understanding, if you're looking at a system, how you can look, how you can really identify what is what. If I just say dir, that's how we'll get it. That's all I'll get it. But if I say tree, what did I get? From a very high level, I got every information whatever is required for me. I did not go into all the tiny, teeny details and, you know, look at everything else. Probably I still can, but, you know, I need to go figure out. So I
Yeah.
can say F, I can say A. See? And let's say I don't want to do this. You know, how would I pipe it to a different this thing? Say this one, users. Yeah, and then say tree.txt. That's it. It's all dumped now. So I can
Yeah.
go see user. Oh, come on, where did I go? Oh, there you go. Now I have dumped everything in an Excel sheet, and now I know how the format looks like, right? So, oh, these are all the files which I have downloaded, and this is the path. You see the tree structure, so I know
Yeah.
how what it looks like. So, so that's also something which some people will test. Yet, you know, how good are you at your command line skills? Because it's all about your command line skills. and that Windows forensics book, or sometimes, that will help you, like, what are the, the commands should be known by, say, suppose SOC analyst. So Windows commands, uh, Windows basic commands for security, right? So, okay, what is the list of commands you can open up on? So just go practice about it.
I don't even know much about the Windows command though. But I mean, it seems like it's almost like the same thing as Linux too.
Sorry?
I said I didn't know much about the Windows command line, but it seems like the same like Linux command line too.
Yep, exactly. So again, it's a requirement that, you should know about these things.
Okay.
Yeah. Command line cheat sheet from SANS. Brilliant one. Probably you can follow this one. Let me ping you this one. This is one fantastic which you don't have to worry around, but you'll know. Okay. Example is like, this guy is saying that, okay, I want to registry or query a registry key. How do I say? How say reg query? Or I can query a registry from a command line. Fantastic. I can import a registry key. I can query a registry key. I can export it. I can add it. I can do WMIC. I can see WMIC, other commands from WMIC. Then I can do a task list. I can do a task. I can do a services query, SC, and let's see. Okay, this query QURY. My service is running. That's it. Again, shutdown, dir. Even dir itself is a command which you can twist and turn and then use it against, according to your requirements. Right? You can services, task manager, security policy, event viewer, control. So there are a lot of things within the Windows itself which you can use, from these things. So you can definitely look at, let's say if I remove this, what will happen? Not found. Okay, security resources. So you can go to the SANS site. There is a lot of information available here itself. Security posters, security glossaries. What was this? Windows command line V1. Yep. Yeah, you can go here, security glossary, where you can find out a lot of terminologies. SANS also provides you a lot of that. Intrusion detection lock, preference. What is that? APT handling, malicious investigating procedures. Checklist and step-by-step guidelines. What do you need to do? Right. So you can download a doc file and probably look at it. Let me ping you this here. Yeah. So you can read it. This is actually they are describing how do you search and what do you search for. Interesting. Download the file, like you're getting more while crypt looks like hashing and going on. Get W platform specific to Windows maybe, and you can read and go through it. But it's probably an old document, old version of a malware. But yes, you can go and read about it. So SANS provides you that. Probably if I go back, I can say SANS cheat sheets. Yeah. So cheat sheets for everything, whatever you need. Right. So example would be your network DDoS protection. How do you respond to a DDoS alert? Right?
Wow.
General consideration. DDoS attack is often a form of flooding. Okay, fine, absolutely fine. Okay, preparing for future incidents. If you if you do not prepare for a DDoS attack in advance, you will waste precious time during it. Contact your ISP to understand your free DDoS mitigation. Create a whitelist of source. Confirm DNS time to live settings. So you analyze the attack, understand the logical flow of DDoS attack, and identify the infrastructure components affected by it. Review the load and logs, router, firewall, application, and affected infrastructure. Identify what aspects of DDoS traffic differentiate it from a benign traffic, right? Mitigating the artifacts. So, wrap up the incident, key DDoS response steps, mitigate the attack on the targeted environment, post-mortem. So, you will be taken back and forth between different sites, but the best site for you to go and look for multiple areas, right? So it can be a tool like here, incident response tools, or say suppose you're looking at a malware reverse engineering, malware reversing. So how do you perform malware reversing? So overview of the malware analysis process, behavioral analysis, what is the static code analysis, dynamic code analysis, unpacking a malware, right? What does it mean? And it's a single PDF. Remember, it's just one PDF. It's not like two or three lines of 2 or 3 pages of PDF.
Yeah.
Right. So memory forensics. How do you analyze the memory forensics? What tool would you use it? So WinPMem. What is that WinPMem? I don't know about the tool. Go explore about the tool.
Okay.
So like this one. So it elaborates like what is that? Registry analysis plugins. Then you look at getting started with the volatility. Volatility other tool. Identifying rogue processes. How do you identify rogue process? And if you go research about and really want to practice something, you can get free memory dumps as well, right? So you'll get free memory dumps where you can go and I know help us understand or help you yourself, like intrusion discovery cheat sheet for Linux. How do you identify this thing? Oh, this requires a login. I don't have I have not have a login, but then Python 3 essentials. Like what do you need to learn about Python? Right. So you will get a lot of these things which you can take an item which you really want, like TCP IP and TCP dump. Okay, Windows and Linux terminal command lines. Brilliant. See, what directory am I in? CD, Linux. Okay, what file is in the directory? dir ls-l. Copy a file, copy text. CP file text. Okay, now, so this itself is a very basic but good start for you to understand the commands from Unix to Windows. So please take your time to go through these ones. Probably will give you a lot of critical. So again, as I said in the Splunk, okay, critical log review checklist for security incidents, potential log sources, server, workstation, operating system, application logs, security tools, outbound proxy logs. Remember considering other non-log sources, other events, right? What to look for on Linux, successful user, failed logon, user logon. What to look for Windows, what to look for network devices. This is absolutely the brilliant source for you to go and understand what to look for. If somebody asks you a question, what you look for a web server for an attack, think of these scenarios. Right? A list of many Windows security log events, log management blog, other security incident response related cheat sheets. So, right? So yeah, this is also brilliant. This guy, Lenny Zessler, is a guy who teaches in SANS. Few of my friends have heard or listened to their classes, but this guy is phenomenal. I'll tell you what. Right? So reverse engineering, you've got your getting the job right ID job, or malware in Linux, strong security assessments, critical log checklist, you're analyzing malicious documents. Fantastic. You can go download it, like look at the PDF version, right? Office documents. I can walk you through. I can help you understand how do you analyze all these things. But make sure that you take your time, gather all these details so that you can just read upon it.
Okay.
So DDoS response, like, incident security questionnaire for responders. Like, for if you are an incident responder, what type of questions will you ask, or what is that you look for? Understand the incident's background, define communication parameters, right? Assess the incident scope, review the initial incident results, prepare for next incident response. Like, again, they'll ask you about what is incident response phases. So what is incident response phases? So, like, preparation, detection and analysis, containment, eradication, remediation, post-mortem. So you'll need to know all these steps, and what does these steps mean to you?
All right. Lesson learned.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Lessons learned. Yep. So, yeah. So, as I said, please make sure that you understand, you read about networking, you read about your operating systems, Windows, you read about your web application security, your malware analysis. I can give you books for that. I can send you the PDFs. Those are all I have downloaded for free. Again, if you ever want to download any books, there is a site called lib, oh my God, libgen.lc. You will find every book here, possibly every book here, and you can sort by the dates, which is which is the latest book, like Learn Computer Forensics. Okay, let's go and see what is this. Digital forensics and cybercrime. Okay, fine. Pattern recognition, information forensics. Okay, I don't know, but yeah, if you want to look at it, let's look at it. Um, See, computer forensics. I can go and click here and get. I can download the book. So this is
Oh,
one. This is one good site for you to download some books if you want, like a PDFs.
all right, that makes sense.
So yep. So yep. So a lot of things. But any questions?
Well, I don't even know what to ask. It's kind of eye opener right now. Like I'm being exposed to things right now. I mean, the podcast too is really good, and the Sam cheat. I'm gonna have to look into that really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it makes me feel like I have a lot to read. I mean, I think on the networking side, like knowing the little things, like I'm good. I think I mean I pretty much I know most of the times I can explain most of the times my own way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like going back to the practical side, knowing how to do this, like the malware analysis. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
he said the malware analysis you have to go on Wireshark. I mean, I pretty much. I mean, I'm not full confidence, but at least I know I can walk around Wireshark and do some analysis there. But just as some things I need, I won't be able to explain what they means. Like if I see some names on the file, I won't be able to explain what they actually mean. But I guess it's a learning process for me. I'm still getting used to it. But I can pretty much follow up the stream and look into the stream and look into the header.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I can actually do all that. I think I still need more practice, more guidelines to be able, like if I follow up the stream, there's
Mm-hmm.
some others gibberish things that are out there. Sometimes
Yep.
you really have to look at them. Some of them mean something, but some doesn't mean anything. Like like what MZ file, something like that.
Mm-hmm. MZs are the magic characters, right? From an executable.
Yeah, from as guess. So
Yep.
sometimes if you don't really know, you won't know that those those stuff mean something.
Yep.
You might be thinking it's gibberish, but so those are the things that I'm kind of like I'm just still trying to get used to it. So I'll know what to pick out from.
Yeah. So the practical, there is a book called Practical Malware Analysis. Let me paste that link for you as well. Uh, Practical analysis. Yeah, so that's one book which you should read, right? And see if you can practice as well. Very good book, you'll understand. But it talks about Windows, how Windows is built on. So that's something which you'll need to understand first.
Practical malware analysis.
Exactly. Yep.
Basically, maybe I forgot to even ask there. So I was just wondering, like, okay, so if the day-to-day of a SOC analyst, so basically, you come to the office and you've been assigned to an alert, or is it just alert triggers? You just picked it up and start working.
Yeah, again, it depends upon like how big your team is, if you have been assigned to a specific task or something like that. So if it's a small team, you'll probably, if there are only 2 people, you'll split up task and work. Like suppose, hey, you know what, these alerts are seeing, I look at, say suppose I look at alerts from the SIEM, like Splunk alerts or something like that. And somebody said that, oh, I look at EDR, or like cloud based alerts, right? Or I look at phishing based alerts, or like somebody reports a phishing email, I'll go and analyze it. So you'll split up your task and then you take actions on it. But if you're in an MSSP working for multiple clients, then you need to pick up client based alerts. Right? Okay, let me pick up client. If the company name is Good Luck, example, I'll go and pick up Good Luck as a customer. I'll work on his alerts today, if you are assigned to him. But if there is nobody assigning you alerts, you'll go and coordinate within your team member and start working on it. And every time you work on an alert, there will be a standard operating procedure, a guide. How do you handle this alert in terms of escalation, primary steps, triage? This is required because any new member needs to understand how a specific team or an organization is working. And also for auditors, when they come in and say that, oh, do you have a standard operating procedure which team follows, or they have their own mindset and goes and perform their analysis. So every alert will have a defined procedure, process, documentation, which you can go and refer to if you have any questions.
When the alert triggers, so you just basically use the SOP to work on the alert, or do you just start working on the alert or investigating?
If you know exactly what to do, you'll do it, right?
Yeah, okay.
Right. So if you know something, if you see a fire, what you'll do? You are not a firefighter, but you still go get some water, right?
Right.
That's by default. There's no process written somewhere. Similarly, when you see an alert, what you'll do is you'll do the first things first. Like, gather some intelligence or gather this. Okay, what is this file about? What is this all about? Who is the user? Where it came from? What I need to do? You're doing multiple things and start making that process in your head. Oh, then, I know I have handled this alert earlier, or has somebody else handled the same alert earlier? Right? Most important thing, has somebody else handled the similar alert earlier? Okay, if they have, how did they do it? What did they look for? Your job is not to reinvent the wheel, but your job is to quickly handle an alert. Right? So how, if anybody has, if they have handled it, okay, how did they handle it? What did they look for? Is the alert is the same? Is it on the same timelines? Oh, it's not. Okay, how different is it? Who do you think will answer my questions if I have questions? Right? Should I reach out to my L2? Is it the second level person in my team, or do I need to reach out to my subject matter expertise or to my manager to ask questions, or is there somebody else from other team members who can help me with this question? Like, hey, what does this server does? SOC team doesn't know what this server does. You need to go to the server team and ask, can you tell me what this server does? Based on that, you'll start analyzing it.
Okay. So if you find out there was a bad IP, so basically you do a recommendation on what to do?
Yep. SOC does it. SOC should do it. Recommend that this IP should be blocked, or if they have the authority, request for a block. Sometimes when you're working for a customer, you can tell the customer that please block this IP address, or if you're working for an internal, if you're like internal SOC, you can tell the firewall team to block this IP address.
So L1 will do that.
Sorry.
So L1 does that?
No, sometimes L1 does that. Sometimes, again, as I said, based on the team size. If your team is big, you will actually recommend it to L2. L2 saying that, I think I've done this. I think that I feel that we should block the IP address, right? L2 takes it up and then he further analyzes it, whether there is a real requirement for blocking an IP address or not. Right? So if you see traffic going to 8.8.8.8, what do you think is 8.8.8.8 is?
That's Google
DNS. So if your L1 is saying that please block the Google DNS, would you go and allow him to block it? Obviously not. So then that's the reason L2 will filter this out. You know what? He will go back and give a feedback that this IP belongs to Google. You don't need to block it. But he says, I saw a malware, sending out traffic to this one. Why? That's what the question investigation is. Why the traffic comes in?
That's spoofing.
So, and then that's what L2 will analyze. And if it still can't figure out, he'll forward to L3. And then, L3 will investigate further. And, if there is a requirement, he'll recommend some things. But L1's job is to look at it, triage. It's like you're the traffic cop standing in a busy junction, right? And saying that, okay, I am stopping, I'm stopping two roads, approaching roads. So, okay, you guys go and you guys go. Fine, you guys are going. Now I stop 2-3 guys. Okay, and by the time you're doing it, you know that something is happening in the back end. So your SOC L1's job is to handle multiple alerts, really know what needs to be done. If it doesn't know, push it to L2 and ask a question. See, I don't think so. I'm not really able to follow this one, but I think these are my initial observations. You send it, write your observation, and send it to them, and that's pretty much it.
So do you have to close the case? I do have to close the alert.
Yes, you have, sometimes you have. So that's what, right? There are some low severity alerts. There are high severity alerts. There are critical severity alerts, right? So most of the time, low severity alerts or information level alerts will get closed by L1s itself. Anything which is medium or critical will get escalated to L2s or L3s. Because that needs time sensitivity. So you understand. So if you are standing, standing in the traffic junction, and some accident happens, do you think you will go and attend to that accident? You'll not, because if you move from your position, the entire entire crossroads come to a halt, gridlock. So what you do is you take your ham and call 911 or somebody else and come back and have them attend. Meanwhile, you keep the scene clear, or you'll record. Okay. When did this happen? What did this happen? Who did what? Where this coming from? Who are the people involved in the accident? You'll keep a note of it. And then if you're escalating it to somebody else, okay, the 911 paramedic comes, you'll inform everything to them. Hey, you know what? I saw this, and you go back to your job. That's pretty much it. And the paramedics will handle from there on. So your job is more important because you're handling a lot of alerts and then you validate it and push it forward. Okay, confusion? You're fine.
No, it's fine. Well, I'm still imagining. So if there are a lot of triggers right now, how about if the alert is high, so the L1 work on it first before sending it to the L2, or
yes.
does that?
No, that's what I said. Okay, so you get an alert L1 again based on your depend. So you get an L1 alert. L1 gets an alert which is a high severity. So what you would do, you will do the initial triage of it. Where the alert came from, what type of alert is this? Have you gathered a lot of information regarding the alert? What source, what destination, what's the reputation? Primarily, right? You are the first incident responder, right? So what you do is, when you see it, what happened there is what you'll try to understand. If it's a firewall alert, what you'll see is the action allowed or blocked. Is the traffic was allowed in the network or blocked at the firewall? If it was allowed, where it was allowed, right? On what port it was allowed, right? And as you know, it needs further investigation. If you have time, if you are allowed to do this, you'll investigate further, or else you'll escalate it to L2 with all the details you have gathered. Right? Or you can do it, you can take this information, search it in your SIEM, gather more details, understand, try to become a pattern within this stipulated time, because every incident will have a standard SLA, service level agreement, that high severity alerts have to be handled in 30 minutes or 1 hour maximum, or medium severity alerts can be handled in 3 hours, and low severity alerts can be handled in 6 hours. As an example, right? So now you tell me, would as an L1 will be able to handle an alert investigate the alert in 30 or 1 hour with all the alerts are coming in?
No.
Right? So again, that depends on SLA. Okay, the other question it can happen is, okay, you got 2 high severity alerts. One is a DDoS, other is a virus infection. Which one you will attend first?
Virus infection.
Why?
I mean, the virus infection could be on the system, maybe just a SVTrage file, or it also could be causing a DDoS attack too. But DDoS attack is just the causing denial of service.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. So what? Yeah. So think like that. So what you can probably your answer is right. You look at malware first, because that's a confirmed infection. If it compromises, the attacker is inside the organization. Attacker is not at the perimeter. He's inside the organization, trying to. If he's successful, he'll breach your organization. He'll compromise critical data, right? And you are trying to protect that data, which is core to your organization. It means the attacker is already in the organization, so you'll try to handle that first. The other thing is, sign by sign, you'll escalate. You'll also look at DDoS alert, where it came from, how it came from. Probably if you understand DDoS, you'll need to look at the target. What was the connection? How many connections came in? Right? How many connections came in, and what was the result of it? If the destination is some website which is external facing, you can try to access the website quickly and see whether what with the website is available, or what really happened there. And if the DDoS is persistently happening right now as well, right? Or you can go into so you're now multitasking. So for DDoS, you're looking at your SIEM or Splunk, saying that in last 30 minutes, in last 1 day, how many hits did I get from this external IP address to this destination? Okay, number of hits. Then you come back and look at your malware analysis, or malware alert. Okay, who's the user, where it came from, what is the action on it? If the antivirus vendor took the action, like it blocked the connection, or it quarantined the file, it means the virus infection was blocked. It did not take place. Right? Then you'll go and understand where it came from, what is the website, what was the user trying to do, was it a phishing email? Okay, if there's a phishing email, what is a phishing email? You'll try to talk to the user, call him up, figure out, and try to do the remediation process or investigation process, right? So that's how you'll identify it. Think if you are a first responder for a police patrol, what you'll do. If you're seeing a crime, what you'll do? Will you start investigating the case? From the very first go, you'll investigate the case? No, you'll take 2 steps back and try to look at what really happened here. You'll take a 2 steps back and really what happened here. Who reported it? Why they reported? What was the cause of it? Who was involved in this incident? And when did it happen? How did it happen? And then start investigating, piecemealing everything together, right? And that's how you'll investigate an alert as well.
So all this is being done on the SIEM tool?
So multiple places. You can search in SIEM tool, your logs, while looking at the alert, and then trying to connect to the machine which has got infected, example, right? So this is not happening every time. So you have your laptop is infected. So you come back and good luck comes back and tell Kumar that, Kumar, my system is infected. So what I'll do is I'll quickly look at an alert and look at the virus infection and identify, okay, the virus infection will do XYZ activities. So it'll create a registry key, it'll make outbound connections. So I'll quickly look at my SIM tool and for your machine logs and identify, okay, these two things happened or not. Did I see a virus alert? Did I see outbound communication? And did I see this website being accessed? Right? Then I'll quickly connect to your machine. If my logs are not giving me answer, I'll quickly connect to your machine remotely. Then do some commands or command line activities, look at multiple evidences, and then say, okay, the website was accessed, but it failed. Okay, the website was accessed, but something was downloaded in XYZ folder. What folder was that? Then from there, investigation happens. Remember, SIEM is only a place to store the logs and query the logs. That's it. You'll not do anything more than that. Or probably write rules or alerts to query or alert you of some bad activity happening or some matching activity happening.
Right.
And then probably there's a ticketing platform where you'll go and update your comments. Right? Okay, I connected to Kumar's machine. I found this at this time. Deleted this file. I deleted this registry key. I found this website. I saw these many people access this website. Then later I found a phishing email was sent to all this user. These are the subject of it, phishing email. This was the sender. This was the link within the phishing email was there. So the more you investigate, the more timelines you'll start recording everything. And that becomes your investigative summary. And when you have all these details, you write up a small summary. Okay, at this time I found this, and this is what happened. This was the machine, and I did all these activities. Make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometime later. I mean, I don't know if we can walk through one a lot, maybe phishing or anything like first of all, how would you confirm? How would you confirm it's actually a phishing attack? Like you just
Sure.
get it.
Yep, I told you that practical malware traffic analysis. We will, work on that. So probably you can share your screen, set up a VM on your machine. We'll visit a site. We'll download a malicious email, and I'll show you that phishing email.
Okay, so so I just at least I'll get the step by step. Okay, if I get an alert and pop up, okay, so what would I do with the alert? What am I looking out for? What's the IOC that tell me that this is a phishing email or this is a different kind of the DDoS attack? Because is it going to be written DDoS attack on the alert?
No alerts. Again, the phishing email and Ddos will not happen simultaneously. But yeah, you can get bombed by emails like spam emails or advertisements. But now tools are intelligent to identify it. But yes, as you said, we can definitely do it. But I want you to set up a lab so that it remains with you. Right?
Okay.
If I set it up, it will be with me. And for you to do it, it will be tough time for you to do it. So if you set up environment on your laptop and allow me access, I can walk you through so that whatever we do, it will be there on your machine and you can record it and you can replay it and listen to it again.
Yeah, I actually have but not on this computer. So I'll just set up a VM on this computer.
Yep.
So, because the one I have is I have VirtualBox on the other one.
Got it.
I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get a VMware, but they're paying for it. I don't want to pay for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll download VirtualBox on this one so we can work on it.
Absolutely. Okay, sounds good. Any other questions?
I think basically if when we start working on the VM, so my curiosity, I can get over my curiosity because in my head I'm still trying to wrap it up. Okay, so if I get an alert, how do I know he's phishing? Is this something that is it gonna be written phishing in one of the emails, or how do I know if it's gonna be DDoS? How do I know is this? Like was my I'm just thinking, was my my IoT my IOC that will let me know that is this attack or is this attack or is this attack. So maybe when we start working on it, then I can be able to pick out the difference.
All right. Okay. Sure. We'll do. We can look at that.
Yeah. But for now, I think that's it for now. I guess it's for me to be study some more.
Yep.
You've given me somewhere to study on.
Yeah. So these sessions are helpful for you. Like for what you're looking for, is it helping it out or?
Oh yeah, it's really like I'm knowing like I said, I'm knowing more things. Like you're kind of exposing me to deep. Like I didn't even know that Windows command. I mean I use Linux, but I didn't even know that the Windows. Maybe because I've not really put interest on the on Windows command, but seeing what you did right now, like oh, it's a different thing. I mean it's kind of similar because CD, yeah, it's the same. Most of the commands are kind of a little similar, but it's just something that I need to do. Like, okay, I think I have more to dig myself around cybersecurity. I'm excited because I'll get to learn more. Like I'll fast track my stuff in knowing more things. So yeah, it's helpful.
Good. Awesome. Okay.
And you said you're gonna send well, there's one file you said you were gonna send something Windows forensics.
Yeah. I think the book which I pinged you on the Zoom chat, all the links.
Yeah, I've shared that on the Hangouts as well.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the mastering Windows network forensics. You can look at that, and then walk through it so that it helps you out.
Okay. All right. So which let me see which of them is the Windows forensics you talked about.
Yeah, so there is something called as Windows network forensics at 442. Oh, there is a lot of URLs. Are there. You'll have to segregate it. Let me do one thing. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. I just messaged you again, but I just spaced it out so that you can easily identify it in the Hangout.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Then if you don't have anything, let's see you later then.
That's fine. I mean, at least this is getting me ready for my interview for tomorrow.
Good. Awesome.
Thank you.
Perfect. Okay. Thanks. Good luck. Thanks,
All right.
Ravi.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Talk
Bye.
to you
Good
later.
luck.
Yeah. Bye.